you. All right, so now that we've had people come in, I love it. Hey, appreciate that, Joshua, becoming a member on our YouTube page. So yes, here we go. I'll start over from what I was saying when y'all couldn't hear me. I was uh, out and about today, actually doing some more content with some high school kids. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I had somebody send me a message on Twitter saying, "Hey, just a heads up, uh, Mr. Russell." I'm not trying to get all the kids' names involved. It's kind of hard not to. But Bishop Russell is going live on Facebook right now. I said, interesting. So I tuned over and took a listen. And I was just like, whoa, easy. All right. I see some comments coming in here. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna address the comments that were made from Bishop Russell earlier today. Not happy with 4th and 5 at all, specifically me. Called me out on a few things, which is fine. As I said, we here at 4th and 5, we like to watch the tape, and from our perspective, this is what I tell my guys: be fair, be honest. What you see, we've all been there before. Let's talk about it, but be respectful at the same time. And I guess what was said about a specific play in the game, a parent really took it the wrong way and then hopped on Facebook and tell me how he really felt about me. But I will say it's interesting, and my response is probably not what y'all are going to think. I actually even reached out to Mr. Russell on Facebook and asked him if he would like to hop on stream tonight. I haven't got a response back yet, but if he does, I'll send him a link and maybe we can talk about it. So if you're unfamiliar with what is going on, this is what, oh Lord, this is what I opened up Facebook to of Mr. Russell, not really liking what I got going on. Take a listen.
Yeah, buddy. Come here, DJ. Let me talk to you. Come here. Let me explain something to you real quick, Mr. DJ Williams, with your little podcast and Pick 5 or whatever it is. I gave you the benefit of the doubt when you started doing your videos and your podcast and whatever the name of it is. I gave you the benefit of the doubt because you broke down the plays and you was trying to explain to people what the play was and how it broke down, and you was giving good information on the Razorback games. And so you was breaking down the plays, you was showing the people because you played the game, and so you gave good information. And so I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I don't know the name of your podcast. I forgot it, but when people was asking me about the podcast and stuff like that, I would say, well, yeah, DJ, he breaks it down. He has analysts. They talk about it. He's on the buzz. He was a anchor on one of the news networks. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt. But this video that you got out, it is just completely clickbait. When you talking about BRAYLEN ran the wrong play, and it's frustrating for an OC, an offensive coordinator. It's frustrating. So that's why BRAYLEN didn't get back in the game. I'm finna bust your bubble so wide open. Listen, let me tell you first off, you're not finna put that loss, that Arkansas Razorbacks, the SEC team, lost to a Power 5 Memphis team. You ain't finna put it on BRAYLEN. I'm sorry. You can take that, and you can take that hogwash and you can flush it down the toilet, because that is exactly what that is, DJ. That is hogwash bullcrap. And I posted it on your video, and I tagged you in this video. That is bull crap and malarkey, and you know it. Now it's all on BRAYLEN. But let me tell you something, baby. You can put my baby up against the wall all you want. I promise you, he was going in there to get that touchdown. If they would have said it was not a fumble, BRAYLEN was going in there to get that touchdown, baby. You best to believe that. You better hit me and hit me good. BRAYLEN, when I seen him out there on that field, I said, baby, finna go in there and do what he got to do. So since he doing so much wrong, I bet you he would have won that game. But but you want to ice him the whole game because he did something wrong. So make that video. If you wanted to make a video, then you make that video. But a player that's averaging 11 yards a carry, you got the audacity to get on there and say, oh, that's the reason he took him out. He took him out because he ran the wrong play. Mr. DJ, yes, I tagged you in it. Because I want you, and listen, I'm big and bold enough. If I see you at the game, I'll walk up to you into your face and tell you. I would tell you right up there at Fayetteville, if I see you walking on the field, I'm going to call your name and I'm going to say, DJ, I'm Mr. Russell. And the video that you made about Braylon Russell is bull and malarkey. I'm going to tell you when I see you. I'm man enough and bold enough to do that. I ain't scared of you or nobody there. I'm man enough to tell you to your face. So is. I would tell you directly to your face. When I see you at Razorback Stadium, I'm going to say, if you walk past me, I'm going to tap you on your shoulder and say, DJ, your video was bull and malarkey. It's clickbait because you didn't make it as big as you wanted to make it in the sporting world. So now you got to run around here and get clickbait videos to get whatever type of monetary money that you're getting from your video. That's how you're making it now. You don't want to tell the truth. You don't want to analyze like you've been analyzing. Now it's just talk a bunch of bull crap and keep it going.
Hold on a second. Just give me a second. All right. I'm going to try to be respectful as possible. Okay. Sorry. All right. They caught me off guard. All right, I'm not going to lie. That caught me off guard. Oh, man. All right. That's a lot to unpack. Man, that's a lot to unpack. But we're going to do it. I'm going to try my best. Speaking of monetary stuff, appreciate you, Joshua R., for the donation. Thanks for the super chat. And once again, I am looking at the chat right now. It's pretty interesting. Thanks for being a part of it. But let's go ahead and get into this, okay? So, my thoughts on what Mr. Russell said. First, I think we need to maybe clear up what he or at least what he thought I said. I'm very confused right now because I will say this. I know what we talk about here on 4th and 5. And this is not the first time I've gotten something like this. When we talk about things that we put on tape, and I know how parents are, as they should be, they're always going to have their kids back. I get that. My mom would be the same way. If I had a bad play and somebody had the technology or the social medias that we do now back then, they said, look at DJ, draw him up on a thing. Yeah. My mom would be livid. All right. She wouldn't like it. I understand it. That's why I really try to encourage my guys to be respectful and make sure that we point out things that are actually going on from our perspective. Now, I'm not saying we're right 100% of the time, but we got a really good grasp on at least what we're talking about. I really do believe that. That's why I'm very selective about our crew that comes on 4th and 5. And when we put content out, I review everything that goes out. In regard to Mr. Russell's comments, I really don't understand what you had a problem with what I said. I really don't. The play you're referring to it was in this maybe the 4th quarter when there was something going on with the mesh point. And I went back and looked at every single offensive play. I tried to do my homework. And there was one other time I saw them in pistol formation. That's when the quarterback's in a short shotgun, running back right behind them. And following the tight ends is the way that Talon usually turns to read, because those tight ends are going to pass up the defensive end. And then that's where he makes his read. He faces that way. Earlier in the game, they did it, and it seemed like everything went well. Braylon was in the game. Talon kept the ball and rushed around the side. Later on in the game, when the exact same thing essentially happened, it looked like the only person doing something different was Braylon. Now, if that is the case, it is fine. Now, one thing I don't think that Mr. Russell did, this is what I think a lot of people get into trouble with. They just see a video and they just completely forget about the context. In the video that he's referring to, which is on Facebook, and I get it when he hits you because it has over 30 to 40,000 views, okay? I get it. I said on that video, I don't want to misquote this because I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, all right? It says on this video right here, Braylon Russell only had 4 carries with 47 yards, averaging over 10 yards per rush. Sorry. been trying to figure out why maybe he didn't get more carries. Maybe it's because of moments like this. But I vote we still find a way to get him the ball. He runs hard. All right. I am, like you, searching for an explanation of why Braylon Russell did not get the ball. All right. And I'm not just over here trying to backtrack and say stuff that I didn't say all week. That was a legit question of mine. And if you don't believe me, just listen to a few of these things. This is, you said he's on the buzz and he used to be the TV guy. Well, if you listen to what I'm saying all week, this is where I don't understand where you're coming from. This was from Tuesday, talking about the same thing in studio at the Buzz. Take a listen. What makes coaches great is have the game awareness of how your guys are doing. It was noticeable when Talon started making a shift in the second half of like, that was a questionable throw. Ooh, he's really forcing that. You could see it as the game was unwinding. And, you know, Coach Bertino was sticking to it. All right, it's 1st and 10. Let's take a shot down the sideline. We're up 18, you know. Yeah. And then at what point, Coach, does he take a deep breath and say, wait a minute, Braylon Russell has 4 carries for 47 yards.
Yes.
He's averaging 10 yards a carry.
Are you aware of that during a game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Earlier today, all right, I got back on the radio and said the same thing.
Fire.
Hey, this is what I got to say, and I want to get y'all's opinion, especially DJ,
What's up, J-Dub?
since he breaks down stuff.
Do you get to it?
To carry, and so, and you don't even tap into what has been established and it has not been stopped at all when you're averaging over 5 yards a carry. And so it's just, I think Coach Ricino still has this, like I said, sometimes he gets this mindset of like, I'm going to draw up the perfect play. They're going to show me the perfect front. And he does draw up the perfect play, but Talon was having a hard time making the right read. And I think as an offensive coordinator, sometimes you just have to understand, okay, my guy for some reason is off in the second half. Let me stop putting all this stuff on his plate and let me just get to something a little bit more certain, specifically because we're up as much as we were with the 18-point lead of like, all right, I'm not sure what's going on. We can address this after the game. Let's just get out of this game. But, yeah, once again, Braylon Russell, 4 carries.
Yeah.
With over 10 yards per carry. And what was that stat yesterday when you talk about when you get into this, like, 4-minute offense when you're trying to burn the clock and trying to, in their case, get down to a field goal, and if not get the first down, they said they didn't want to score. It's hard to go against 107 career carries as a Razorback with 0.
I heard that stat the other day, and I talked about this, Mr. Russell, Bishop Russell. Yes, 107 carries. Braylon Russell doesn't have a fumble on his stat sheet at all. I agree with you. And I even said it, been saying it all week. Now, the video that you saw was in the exact same breakdown. And this is where sometimes I encourage people when we post our stuff, we put it into some AI generator, all right? And then it posts clips, all right? And then it'll post those clips based off what the AI thinks is a viral clip or whatever. Obviously, it maybe hit the right note, but it always leads people back to watch the entire breakdown because literally a couple plays later, I went on to say this in that same video that you are having a problem with. This is where I want to get at. So we're in a situation, we were up 18 points. 18 points, okay? Memphis started making their adjustments, and I think at some point as a coach, you have to be aware of when the game is starting to maybe unravel for a few of your players. Example, maybe Talon. Questionable interception. We're starting to force some things. Some confusions happening up front. Braylon Russell had 4 carries in this game, and he was averaging over 10 yards a carry, 47 yards on the ground. Talon was averaging about 4.7 yards per rush. Mike Washington was averaging about 4.8 yards per rush. All right. So, once again, this whole hopping on social media, being very emotional, being very aggressive, saying you're going to see me out in public, tap me on the shoulder, call me out man to man, face to face. You know, at first, I wanted to say, well, at 9 a.m., we're going to be live for our pregame show at the Alumni House. We will be there, which I still encourage you to come by and hang out. If you want to hop on our show, I would love it for you to speak your piece, but at least approach it with making sure that you're not judging what we're doing here on this show and in this channel based off not understanding in full context what we're trying to say. Now, if what you just heard when somebody gave it to you, and this has popped up a few times with the content we put on 4th and 5, so I have grace space for this, or I give grace in this for sure. I get it. If it seems like you thought I was actually trying to say that's why Braylon's not on the field because he's messing up, and then I get it. For one play, I get it. I would be having the exact same, probably not the exact same reaction you had, but I would be frustrated as a parent. And I think all parents should stand up for their kids. All parents should have their kids back. All that stuff. I'm with it 100%. You went on, first of all, that was about a 4-minute video that I sent. You were on me for a whole 35 minutes. And I will say I listened to it the whole 35 minutes. And I was just like, dang, dude's really coming after me right now. But I'll even say this, you did bring up some extremely valid points in your conversation that I agree with. I really do. I really do. Now, on another note, I don't believe, and from what I'm gathering from what some of the chat is saying and what people have said, I don't think it's the best practice to hop on a Facebook Live, call us out. We are apart from the team. Anybody wearing the 4th and 5 logo, any other podcast you see, by all means, if you're feeling like you just need to get something off your chest and you don't like what we're saying and you want to blow back on it, by all means, do your thing. We can take that, and I think that's fair. I know the space that we are now walking into, which promotes that response from some people based off our opinions. That is perfectly fine, and we are okay with that. I don't think it's best practice to start talking about other players on the team. I don't think it's best practice to talk about coaches on the staff right now when it comes to play calling. I mean, I think it just really does put, and I think we all know this, Braylon in a very tough situation that I don't think he signed up for, because I'm not the only person who saw that. I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people send me that Facebook post, and I know it's circulating. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that represents how Braylon feels, if I'm being completely honest. But I understand you as a parent, that's how you feel. I just don't feel like it's the best place to hop on here on social media and then go down that route. I thought it was perfectly fine when you kept it all directed at us and me specifically, but talking about other players and coaches and decisions and stuff, not while we're suited up. Some of those things are better kept off air. Okay. And so I know that's tough, and it's popped up a lot with what we do here. And I'm aware. I posted a video earlier this week, and we'll move on from Mr. Russell. And like I said, I sent him a message. If he wants to come on here and talk, please do. Once again, big shout out to the donation. I put all my donations up. All right. I don't like to get down this route. When it comes to, trying to go ahead and fire coaches, there's no point of us talking about that, because what we say here on 4th and 5 really isn't going to affect that at all. We'll talk about it if it happens, and we'll give our opinions then. But up until then, I really try to stay out of that lane. However, another thing that popped up that I want to address is the content that we've been having with these high school players. I posted a video of Evan Goodwin. He's an offensive tackle at a box site. A lot of people it's a lot of people have reached out to me, peers in this industry, people I've known for a very long time who I respect so much. I've gotten a lot of phone calls with them pissed at me, telling me, DJ, stop what you're doing. DJ, this isn't good for the kids. This isn't that. I'm trying to find a space to not be stubborn. I'm trying to find a spot to where I think when people think that they're always right and they shouldn't take feedback, I think that's very bad for growth. And I want this channel to grow. I really do. Um, but I really don't feel like there's anything wrong with when we look right now on all these websites and all these rankings. And this has been a theme for a very long time. The top players in our state don't want to go to Arkansas. A lot of people say many things. I don't care what it is. Some people say, well, the in-state talent's not good enough. Some people say Arkansas didn't want them. Some people say that they didn't want to go to Arkansas. I don't really care about that. I just want to go and sit down with them and then ask them, what could have Arkansas done better to make you want to go to Arkansas? Because all these guys, for the most part, except for a few of them, have offers from Arkansas. They just want to go somewhere else. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I do tell them before each time I have a conversation, I talk to their coaches and I talk to them and I give them a heads up. Um, in this world, when it comes to being in this type of spotlight of the top athlete in the state, anything you say and everything you say, you can't say something right that's going to make everyone happy. There will be people out there to pick this apart. And I really don't like some of the stuff that people are saying about this kid from Bauxite because you have not had a chance to go sit down and talk to him, look him in the face, have a deep conversation. There were so many more things that were in that interview that I had with Evan that I decided not to put into the tape because I thought that would then be causing them more trouble. But from his personal experience, if he felt like Arkansas did not make him a priority in the recruiting process and Arkansas gave him an offer and wanted him to go to school there, I don't care if Arkansas was the fifth team to give him an offer. I get it. Somebody tried to, I mean, I'll say this, Justin Acree, the guy I work with. I can say his name because we love each other, right? He says, DJ, it shouldn't matter if SMU offered him in February and then Arkansas offered him in late March. What are we talking, 2 months that will make a difference? I think for kids at that age, it does make a difference. And especially when it comes to the fifth offer, in my opinion, if you're somebody that is being looked at from Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, all these other schools, if they come to the table and give you an offer, I think your home state should be the first place to give you an offer. That's just my opinion. And the thing about it is, I mean, I'm getting such awful feedback and some really good feedback too, because I really do think it's a good question. I'm just trying not to put these kids in a bad situation, but I talked to a kid today and I'll say who the kid is. All right. It's Anthony over there, Anthony Kennedy over there at Central, right? The number fifth ranked player in the state. And like, you can teach a lot of things. I think Evan has a lot to work on. After watching Anthony Kennedy today, I think he has a lot to work on. But what you can't teach is 6'7", 325 pounds. What you can't teach, 6'5", 315 pounds, athletic, can bend, very mobile. That's hard to teach. Some of these schools, they see that potential and they're like, give me that and I'll do my job as a very effective coach in developing this guy into the player that he needs to be. I think that's what all these other schools are starting to see from these people. And so when I sat down and talked to Anthony Kennedy today at Central, it was a really good interview. And I almost don't even want to post it because he said some things about his recruiting process that just it gutted me. And I was just like, there's no way. There's no way. And the thing about it is, contrary to popular belief, I'm the biggest advocate for Razorback football. And do I honestly and personally believe that there is something special about having guys who have the talent to play at the next level, D1? Do I think they should get a nod and a first chance at Arkansas every single year? Yes, because I think those kids who are all born from here in this world of NIL, this world of the portal and stuff, these kids grew up calling the hogs. And you were trying to look for some sense of gravitating towards kids who seem like they care about the program instead of kids who just look at this as a one-stop shop to get paid then move on. We've all had those issues before. We have. Um, and I just feel like we cannot miss the opportunity to pass up on kids who can bring that very special element to our program, which I feel like it is lacking. I was talking to Matt Harris about this the other day. I'm sorry, I'm going to get to these comments here in just a little bit. I see another super chat. I'm going to put this up because I don't want to miss it. This is from Joshua, super chat. I don't blame the kid one bit for not considering Arkansas. The culture around the program sucks. Point blank, culture is losing. It's infested with this once proud program. Go be great, Evan. Joshua, that is wild you just said that because that was literally leading me to my point. I was talking to Matt and Josh the other day. Do y'all remember back in the day when we had a top recruit in the state and then they chose to go somewhere else besides Arkansas? Oh my God, the whole world would come to an end. Arkansas fans would be like, what are we doing? Coach Nett would be like, hold on now, we got to go get this guy now. We got to border around the state. Everyone would just lose it. And then we would all say, that kid's dead to me. I don't care for him anymore. If you're not with us. But now, like, this comment is exactly what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, Joshua, it's just the way that people feel because of this program. Now fans are saying, I get it. Okay, I understand why they would go there. What has happened? I don't understand. And I'm just sitting here watching everybody pick apart the in-state talent, saying they're not good this, they're not good that. I just don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Somebody just said this right now. We talked about Isaiah Satania, Fayetteville kid. Didn't feel like he was doing very well here at Arkansas. He transferred to OU last week. He had 7 catches, over 120 yards, and a touchdown in a big time win for OU. I get it, man. So I'll go back and forth, and I'll probably chop this out when it comes to the interview with Anthony Kitty because it was really good. They got another kid over there too that just got offered by Penn State, but he has an offer from Arkansas as well. And I really want Arkansas to pay attention to this kid. All right, he's not committed right now. He's a running back at Central. He's a hometown kid. He's from Little Rock. Okay, dude's special. You got Penn State, the number 3 team in the country, coming down here trying to take him away from us. All right, so Hogs, coaches, if you're watching this, if not, somebody tag all the coaches in this and say, go call that guy tonight, and then call him the next day, then call him the next day, then call him the next guy the next day. We saw him today, and dude's he one looks the part. Such a good kid, a really good kid. Be very awesome to have a part of our program. Running back at Central. He's only a junior, so the attention is just going to keep growing. I got Jeremy Sprinkle in the comments bringing up Courtney Crutchfield, another guy that left. And that's the thing too. Now, that's as talented as Courtney Crutchfield was in high school, dual sport athlete, and he goes to Missouri and comes back here. And I even said this when I watched Courtney practice. I said, I see all the talent in the world athletically in this kid. I really do. I think his work ethic needs to turn it up a few notches, if not the most notches. All right. He just needs to get in that mindset of you can't take a lot of people who are just so naturally athletic. They fall victim to this going through the motions and being able to turn it on when the lights come on. It's hard to do in college football unless you are very, very, very special. But yeah, I think if he doesn't go through learning an offense 1 year, then having to transfer, then come back and everybody's saying, oh, we don't, he decided to come back because he couldn't cut it at Missouri. I honestly do believe that cuts into a player's development of a player that they could potentially be. All right. Yeah. And then here we go. Do you think he'll transfer this year? Probably, which is awful. Somebody said has Danny Bill. So Danny Bill right now, according to 27 or 24/7 Sports, he is committed to Oklahoma State right now. He's the number 1 player in the state. Now he does play in two-way. All right. I've seen this guy, his tape. He looks like a monster, but I will admit, when you're playing in a smaller conference, everyone looks tiny. So sometimes bigger guys really look much bigger, but he's extremely athletic. I think he plays tight end in defensive end. He can, I mean, once again, another guy that you can't teach that type of size and athleticism. We've actually got it on our schedule to go see him in person. All right, I got to lay my eyes on this guy, and I'll let you know. But yeah, what's his name? Coach for Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy. Yeah, he was fired. So I mean, I would imagine a decommitment is coming soon from Danny Bill. Hopefully, Arkansas is all over it. That would be nice. All right, let's go ahead and get. Oh my gosh, Chris Carver. I'm glad you commented, my friend. I am so sorry. I want to personally. That's not Chris Carver. Here's Chris Carver. I keep saying Carver. Chris Caver. I'm sorry, Chris Caver. I want to apologize. I saw your super chat Monday night after I was done. I'm so sorry. I missed it. Thanks for the super chat then. Chris says expectations for Razorback football are too low for so many people. You can't accomplish what you don't envision. If Ole Miss, Mizzou can. Does that not just drive y'all nuts when Eli Drinkwitz comes here, recruits our players, and then put billboards up with those players in their hometowns with Mizzou all over it? It's tough. Another super chat right here. Joshua R. Best Arkansas teams had in-state talent. It's just a fact. That stings for many that are in denial right now. Culture is the thing. I really do go back. I mean, Matt Jones, Cedric Cobbs, Darren McFadden, Brandon Burlesworth. Where's Clint Sterner from? He's not from Arkansas, is he? I don't think so. Sorry if I'm wrong, Clint. Joe Adams, Jarius Wright, Chris Gregg, Ryan Mallett. We can just keep going down the list of all these guys. And what was special about those teams, man, God, it meant so much playing for those fans because that's what we grew up on. Now, I'm not saying Arkansas needs only in-state guys. No, that is not the case at all. We have to go get kids out of Texas, Florida, LSU, bordering states, and any other guy that we can get essential to the program. but you can't miss out on guys that are right here. Somebody said the other day Texas produced 53 5-stars out of the past 2 to 3 years. Arkansas only produced 1 to 2. And I get it. And I agree. My thing is, if we only produce 1 to 2, we got to get those 1 to 2. Start watching. What is this? Oh, that's what you. This is not what that says. What are you trying to show me? Clint Sturter's from Texas. Mallet, Texas High, roots in Mountain Home. He grew up parking cars for Razorback games, but he played football at Texas High and Texarkana. Just FYI. I see a lot more comments coming in. I'll go ahead and throw them on the screen right now. I kind of got off of Mr. Russell. I'm hoping that cleared the air on a few things. I just thought that was very, very interesting. But I get parents coming to their kids' defense. I just need it to be, if you're going to be mad at me, I at least need you to know what you're being mad about. All right. Like I said, I'm really good at reflecting on stuff. Okay. I really am, but I need, I'm also going to be real with you too. All right. Just like you thought you were being real with me, but I get where you're coming from. Sam Alajabutu, man, I've been seeing you. Okay. I've been seeing you a lot. Up on our Facebook page and being very active in this, talking about high school talent. It's very interesting you brought this up, Sam. Kevin Young, 5'11", 215, 4.440, bench 300, squat 500, clean 280. Is he not one of our players of the week? Kevin Young? Is it Forest City? Tell me those stats real quick. Y'all listen to this. Listen to this. This is a kid in our own backyard. Sam is competed at the highest level in college football. Thumping everybody's head. He knows talent when he sees it. You got that real quick for me? Last week, I believe Kevin Young went off. Da-da-da. Oh Lord, everybody going in. Yes, he is. You can't. It's in the Oh my gosh, hold on. I think I got it right here. Yep, here it is. I'll pull it up. Kevin Young, Forest City Mustangs, 25 carries, 389 rushing yards, averaging 15.6 yards a carry. This is one game. Had 5 touchdowns. Now, Sam, I do need to know who y'all played. All right. You can't be giving up 389 rushing yards to anybody. That sounds like some wild stuff right there. Those are impressive numbers. Sam, glad you're hanging out. Hope you're doing well. See everybody still in the chat. Last year, unsure. This is from, sorry. How do I get that down? Yeah, let me get that off of there. What are you asking right here? Chambly, offensive lineman last year for the Hogs, making an unsure around 100,000 a year at SMU and a full 200,000 a year from a Hog. What? Hog at heart, we need. Yeah, we do need more money. I get it. You got to start paying players for sure. And that's another thing. I will say talent evaluation. Really got to figure that out. And I'm trying to do my best with these guys. And like I said, I was honest with Evan, and he was honest with himself. He does have some lazy tape. He does, part of it. But he recognizes it. You know how hard it is for a kid who's number 2 ranked a guy in the state to get up there and say himself, I feel like I'm lazy. I need to. That's awesome. All right. And I'll say this too. I've asked a few people, and they've kind of said the same thing about his tape at PA. So what I like to do, I think guys like him who are 6'7", 320, to them the game is so easy. It's so easy. And so sometimes you kind of get in the motions. You ever heard of like a kid who's so smart so it seems like they're not paying attention in class? It's just because they're bored. I hate if that's the case. If that's the case, we got to turn it up a notch. But I went and watched film of him at camps, and he was at the OU camp playing against some dudes, and he was handling his business. And I think that's where he's getting a lot of this national attention from, is when he goes to camps and they just do mano, athletically. Can you figure this out? Some people said maybe he's struggling with the playbook at PA, not being in the right spot. I don't know. Good coaches can fix that. Okay. But like I said, you can't coach somebody to be 6'7" and 300 something pounds. I will give a big shout out, Big KG Enoch. All right, he was one of our players of the week. Enoch not only ran for 300 plus yards against Warren, he did it again against Van Buren. He's had 200, 300-yard game, 300-yard games right now, if not more. I'm pretty sure after the four weeks, he was already over 1,000 yards. I really like that kid. He got offered by UCA right after that game. That kid's not letting anybody get in his way. Here we go. So On Three has a prediction for Anthony Kennedy Jr. to Mizzou. I don't know what that prediction is. Is Anthony Kennedy and Anthony Kennedy Jr. got to be the same person, right? Anthony Kennedy I talked to today is going to Miami. He's committed. And he told me a really cool story about, when they came down here for the recruiting visit. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet and they made him feel real special. And he went through some vigorous workouts and all that cool stuff. It was pretty legit. I thought it was really cool to see. And this is in the interview, Jason Taylor. I mean, when you have a gold jacket NFL Hall of Famer come down, put you through workouts, and then say to you, man, I don't know how Arkansas is missing on you, but we want you. And the U is number 5 in the country right now. Once again, thank you all for all hopping into the chat right now. I appreciate it. A lot of small schools getting overlooked. That's what's tough for us in the high school because we do a lot of Razorback coverage. It's hard to be somewhere Friday night to get our eyes on these guys. So what we've actually seen is a lot of people on here have pointed out names and said stats, and it's gotten our attention, and we're just like, oh, okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. All right. And we'll let you know what we come up with if we have time. Jordan Jones. I mean, y'all, yeah, wow, chat's going wild. All right, I'm going to go what I've been on here almost 40 minutes, making sure I didn't miss any super chats before I get off. I got that one. Appreciate it, Joshua R. So what's on? Who's DJ top 2 coaching candidates? I don't like to go down that road, Todd. I don't. Can you please hit my super chat question? Brooks, where's it at? I've been looking. Super chat. So on this thing, I can't point though. I can't like separate them from anyone else. I just have to scroll all the way up. There it is. Found it, Brooks. I am sorry. Glad you said that. What about the notion of Nutt as athletic director? I love your thoughts on this. I would love your thoughts on this. Are we grasping at straws here? Would he even be interested? If y'all go back and watch my podcast when we had Coach Nutt on, he came down to Hot Springs, hopped on with us. I asked him about, would you ever coach again? You kind of see, coach, I'm older, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, would you ever be athletic director? And he went like this. He was like, he didn't want to talk about it. Now, did that give me some type of indication that he would definitely entertain an opportunity to be an athletic director somewhere? Who wouldn't, right? Do I believe if Coach Nutt could pick to be an athletic director anywhere in the world, would it be Arkansas? One would assume. I don't know. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth. But once again, our athletic director right now is trying to get a check. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of trying to fire people. I'm just trying to answer your super chat question, and I appreciate the super chat. Keep on coming it in. Not fair. Would OSU go after Pittman now? I don't know. Here is from Karen. DJ, what is our biggest problem at this point in time? Sheesh. What is our biggest problem? Lord, it's a heavy question. The first thing that pops off mine is effort on the field. Too many plays where other people are expecting someone else to get the job done, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. The way that it should be is when somebody has another guy wrapped up. Right now, we have people hoping, okay, he's going to go down. We'll move on to the next play. A defense that has the identity of just being a scary, impactful, all up in your face, all over the field, 100 miles an hour type of defense. Those guys out there, they hope a guy doesn't go down or the whistle doesn't blow before they get a chance to get a hit on them. Like you see it. I mean, I played against these guys. Me, I'm somebody who doesn't like to go down. I did not like to go down. I tried to stay up as much as possible. I could tell the difference of playing against South Carolina, and I was like, I could stay up all day and take all these hits. Playing against Bama, I was just like, maybe I need to get my ass down, all right? Because they are coming. I mean, any shot that they could get, they just boom, 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 a relentless pursuit to get any hit in on somebody. We're missing that. I think that's a problem. What's another problem? We can't score 3 points in the second half. The solution to that problem, decision making. Taylon's interceptions are very fascinating to me because when we go back and look at the tape, it is so blatantly clear that he should not throw the ball in these areas, but he is. If you go back to the Arkansas State game, when he threw the interception trying to throw to Omega Blake, it seems like he throws a lot of interceptions trying to throw to Omega Blake. But the first one he threw, maybe it was the second one he threw. I can't remember. No, it was the first one he threw at the A-State game. Braylon Sharp was running a return route, and he was running back out. The design of that play was supposed to make the guy sitting in that window, which he ended up getting an interception. The design was supposed to make him run out and guard Braylon Sharp. However, he did not. That defensive player did the wrong thing, and then Talon threw because Talon assumed that guy was not going to be there. Interception. The exact same thing happened in Talon's second interception against Memphis. That's why you saw a guy completely wide open in the middle of the field. He was trying to throw to Omega Blake. He should have thrown to Jalen Brown. That was running the little shallow route right in the middle, or a slant. The only thing that makes sense to me is I know Coach Petrino preaches pre-snap read. And based off the pre-snap read, Talon was right with what the defense should have done. Okay. So he knows single high safety. I know I'm coached to do this. When this guy runs the middle of this field, this guy will cover him, and then Omega is going to be open. That's very good processing. However, you need to make sure that the guy does what he does. And so I think sometimes Coach Petrino is a really, really, really good coach, and Talon leans on him a lot, as he should. But there's going to be some circumstances where even if he still needs to be his own person, and he needs to go back and make sure that he's going through these progressions and not keying one safety, but also keying who is supposed to not be in the way, instead of, this sounds weird, just trusting what Petrino said is going to happen. That's a really interesting gray space there. That's the only thing that makes sense of why he's throwing directly to these other guys on defense, because I think he's assuming they're not supposed to be there. Another thing that is kind of got under my skin a little bit, and it takes a lot. I really did not like the comments about the heat. I don't understand that at all. Week 4, you're in a press. I mean, this isn't the post-game presser. You had a day or two to think about this. I don't think there should have been a comment or an excuse about the heat at all. I don't think there's any place for that. And the thing about it is, I think all coaches know that. I even think Coach Pittman knows that. I don't understand why he came out and said, I think the heat got to us, because now you give people all the ammunition they need to just get online and say, what are you saying? Your guys are not in shape week 4? What are you saying? Your strength and conditioning staff isn't doing a good job? What are you saying? Your guys aren't taking it serious week to week? You see what I'm saying? I probably would have stayed away from that one. And you are right. Petrino is right most of the time, but I don't think he accounts for guys doing the wrong thing on the defensive side of the ball. Get you in trouble. Somebody really wants me to answer this one question. I've seen it pop up twice. Thank you. We are trying to keep the content going. All right, before I wrap this up, I am just curious about your opinion when it comes to the high school coverage stuff. Mom, I probably know how you feel about this. My mom's here, by the way. She heard old Mr. Russell talking this, that, and third, so she had to come over here for viewer comments just in case it got out of hand. Like I said, I know why you're here. I know why you're here. That's what parents do. Let me check my Facebook, because I did invite him to hop on. Ooh, interesting. I just had a former player and former coach ask me to call him when I have time. Let me talk to him first to see if that's okay, if I could take you. DJ, would you take the head coaching job? How much they paying? What you talking about? Hey, I'll say this. from this end, going back and looking at the tape, it looks easy. It makes sense. All right. Head coach. Whoo. Well, I need to know how much I'm making, how much money you're going to give me to recruit players, and what my buyout's going to be. I need to know all those numbers first. I will say this though. Who wouldn't take the opportunity to be the head coach in Arkansas? Man, I'd probably do it for free. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work out, then I'll come back here on 4th and 5 and just talk crap about myself all night. All right. We'll make it work. Oh, sweet message. Lisa Kelsey. Love you, love you. I don't head coach is a different ball game, and I don't envy head coaches' positions. And I'll say this. This is me being a big time Razorback fan, being a head coach at Arkansas and trying to compete, especially in this era of football. I do not envy it. I don't, man. It is a tall mountain to climb, especially when money becomes a thing and the finances become a thing. I don't care how you want to cut it. It is a thing. I guess it's not a thing for Memphis because they beat us and they don't have near the budget Arkansas does. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's tough. Val Pal's in the house. I saw her 360 go. Knew she was headed to your house. That's funny. I will say this though. Somebody said this. I'm not advocating for the first two things. But I would definitely entertain being a tight end coach. There is something special about that position that obviously I really, really like, and I feel like I understand. I think it'd be fun. Yeah, we're gonna have a new show called DJ Analyzing DJ. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, that is the thing. If I ended up being a coach somewhere, I'd still do breakdowns. You believe that, and let everybody in on it. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up. We got Pastor Randy once. We talked about Randy has a really cool story. I will say that. So I understand the name. I like what you got going on. I appreciate your support for the channel, and I support what you have going on as well. You want more high school coverage, okay? It's just tough, y'all. It really is tough. So many good players around the whole state, and my home base is here in Little Rock, and we still have to do our Arkansas thing. If 4th and 5 grows, then maybe we can start entertaining that. We just need more bodies to kind of go from place to place because I got my nephew over here who works for me now. He's the guy in the chair. I already load up his plate with enough stuff already, and this last thing he wants is to drive around the whole state, at least for what I pay him. Maybe if I paid him more, he would do it. Yeah, talk about it. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Brooks, appreciate you too, saying keeping up the great work. It really does mean a lot. We'll keep it coming. And I'll let you know if we decide to drop this interview with Anthony Kennedy and another kid from Central. Let me think about it. Because it is very eye-opening, and I know how Arkansas fans are going to be. When you hear what this kid says, if I even put it out there, if this is true in any form, and Arkansas is interested in this kid, Arkansas needs to do better at recruiting kids that I'll leave it at that. I don't know. I'm saying too much. Saying too much. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this night. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us here in 4th and 5 tomorrow morning. Hey, boo. You're going to have Matt's Getting Defensive Breakdown, and then we're going to have our Scouting Report Friday. Don't forget, 9 a.m., we're going to be live at the Alumni House, okay? All you have to do is roll up. You'll see us set up in like the courtyard area. You can come out, hang out. We're going to do a little challenge with Grant Cook. I need your help on figuring out who is going to challenge him. We're going to set up a little bago board, and you get one round, 4 bags each. All right. If you beat Grant, outscore him with 4 bags, you win $100. If you lose, you'll get some 4th and 5 merch. It's a win-win situation. All right. We just got to figure out who he's going to play against. We'll figure out some really cool way to select somebody. I'll probably just chat AI or something like that. All right. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank y'all for supporting 4th and 5 as always. And Mr. Russell, are we good now? Are we good? All right. I ain't got time for you to come tap me on my shoulder and me not know what's going on. I just need to know, is that what's going down? I'm just kidding, man. I think we're squared away now. I think your kid's awesome. I think your kid needs more carries. And I think he is an exceptional talent. And I understand you're a passionate dad.